My B, guys. My B for Escobar. So thank you for saying that. We didn't have any sound. My B, guys. My B for Escobar.
No,
Yeah, we have
that's not
here
good.
Dakram first. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining the stream. If you have any questions about Excelsius or anything trading related, you would be able to answer them. No?
What's going on, guys? All right, let's jump into today and let's take a look at what is going on. I'm in some short-term S&P buys right now.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot to mention that, but I am in them. Um, Clear break, nothing too special in here. Definitely, though, being mindful because pushed into the rejection zone right now. So, but I'm not really too worried about the first two parts of the zone because I really like how price right here, pushed really well, gave a really good push. We're correcting out of all of this. So I think definitely for sure we should be seeing another another run at some point. But let's see. I like the start. So we'll kind of see. Stops, of course, are below the entire basis here. So we'll let that be. And yeah, once the highs break, shove stops the newest point, just let it run. So this is a really smooth play. I like this. I think, one thing that we want to be mindful of is that in potential wartime periods, such as what we are in right now, equity market does tend to rally historically. So ultimately, I think we've kind of shaken out now all that we need to shake out. And I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to say that we're going for a new high just yet, but if you go to like US 30 real quick and you take a look at the weekly, I mean, that structure just looks so good in the end of the day.
Oh,
Not that one in particular. Go to US 30 USD.
okay.
Yeah, you see the weekly structure and how well that's holding.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that just yeah, I mean, if these just keep holding right here, I mean, ultimately we might see this just fling out, but it doesn't change anything because this whole atmosphere in and of itself is very, very consolidated, and so you can kind of look at last time we kind of got into this situation, and I'm not saying that we're going to get something like this again because that was excessive and exaggerated because of the pandemic, but it just gives signs once again of being decelerated, being exhausted, being in a point where market is a little bit indecisive on that side. So yeah, we'll see. But I think nonetheless, it's a concept that we could definitely throw in the mix there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. But nonetheless, I think S&P has some potential there. So not S&P, but just the overall equity market on that side.
So in a situation like this, right? We're looking at the weekly and we're on the range, and then there's like rejections, right? So would we go down to lower time frames instead, like okay, like daily, and then look for entries again there on
Yeah, I
like
mean
for
ultimately,
subcells?
yeah, exactly. Like in this case, since Mark is at a super sensitive point, you can see the rejection zone is very much embodying that as well. Um, I think you would want to be super sensitive on both sides, but maybe be a little bit more proactive on the buys if you can get them, because once again, being at such a sensitive region, and then just taking a look at the last 4 or 5 trading days and really seeing just how well price is responding. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you could definitely be looking for some buys there for sure. I think once again, this is where Celsius's tools take things to a whole nother level because they're just making you so mindful of things. Like if you did get yourself involved in a sell for whatever the reason may be, ultimately sells are going to be super short term. because you can take a look at what Excelsius is showing you on the keyer levels, on the higher time frames, ultimately telling you that you're moving into such exhaustive and sensitive periods. So yeah, 1,000% on that side.
All
But
right.
nonetheless, I mean, it goes back down into like why my execution has been the way that it's been, and I've been talking about this a lot on Instagram, especially, which has been, in times like these, you want to be in a fine balance between being trigger happy
Yeah.
and trending positions at the same time, because ultimately you do have volatility associated here. And that, of course, just makes conditions so lucrative and optimal. But at the same time, you want to be very mindful of the environment in which you're in, which is very quick, fast, random movements
Mm-hmm.
in sensitive regions, right? Being at such points like we are on the weekly, you want to be saying to yourself, should I be looking for a buy per se? Well, you can, but you want to make sure those expectations are managed. Should you be looking
Yeah.
for a sell? You can, but make sure the expectations are managed. Like, I think regardless of what type of plays you take, ultimately you just want to make sure that you're managing the expectations, because right now you are sitting, within this type of range, both being, at such sensitive points, this here being at those weekly points on, the weekly, and then anything higher right now is just, once again, being at all-time high points that is in and of itself in an exasperated period because of COVID and the actions that came posted. So I think nonetheless, though, like I said, when you take a look at all of that, you take a look at what Excelsius is telling you, it makes you super, super tentative on things, as you should be. You want to be very short term, but it's fine being short term in environments like these because the volatility is so high anyway. So, like, even if you're getting in a position and you get out in 15 or 20 minutes or whatever it is, and you're taking smaller legs of the entire movement, that's fine, because, markets fluctuating at such pace right now,
Yeah.
at least 0.5% to 1% a day. And that's good. That's about like 25 to 50 points. And to put into perspective, it's like 250 to 500 pips for my FX traders out there. So, you know, some good movements for sure. For sure.
All right. Well, to add to what you just said, then, for example, right? Let's say I go to Bitcoin on the 4 hour. We have a very similar situation to what we just saw on the weekly on US 30, right? Like we just hit, well, not, I'm not saying like the range, but like it just hit the rejection zone. So with what you just said, it's basically all goes down onto putting like a new set of trading rules. Is that correct?
Yeah, 1,000%.
All right. So let me know if I'm right when I do this. So if I go 4 hour, right, I see this rejection zone, right? So immediately in my mind, bias would be, I would be looking to find some short-term sells below the 4 hour. Is that correct? Like that's going to be my number one.
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
I think, for example, it can be your number one, but it cannot also be your number one. And what I mean by that is it depends what happens first, right? Like, if right now that you're sitting in a rejection zone, you're pushing into previous key levels, you can see prices had difficulty in the past in here. Like, sure, I think your bias automatically is going to be saying to yourself, like, I'm interested in a potential sell, but you want to be mindful, once again, where the majority of the momentum is, which is still bullish
Mm-hmm.
nonetheless. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you do get a sell set up, right, you want to just make sure that you're breaking down some of the structure and maybe the hour or the two. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, once again, like I said, it can be your first, but it may not be your first, because if, for example, you don't get any type of structure that breaks down in the hour, this still holds in the end of the day. And let's say this starts to pull back just a little bit and gives you some type of correction to play with it.
Exactly.
This might
Yeah.
become your next play that you ultimately try to take, or you might try to take this trade right above these previous highs and try to run for a new high into these upper parts. So yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that you want to get to in the end of the day is really more around having a bias, but not being so pious to it, if that makes sense in that regard.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess ultimately being able to be malleable in that way, and adapt if you need to,
Mhm.
you know?
So basically, like even if I saw Excelsius like we hit the rejection zone very recently on price, does not necessarily mean that I should only be looking for sells, right? Because
Oh
like
yeah,
I should
because
still be looking at
I
the
mean,
big picture.
or you could, but then you better be super short term about it. Like, and that's the beauty about Excelsius is that like you could say to yourself, like, you know, at the moment that we push into here, reject this lower high and also reject inside the rejection zone. I'm going to take a trade, put my stops above this and maybe above the rejection zone or whatever it is. And I'm going to try to run it down. You
Okay.
might be that trader that says, hey, you know what? Once we push into the rejection zone and then we come back inside out of the rejection zone, I'm going to take an entry and take it. You might be the trader like we're talking about with the game plan right now, which basically says, hey, you know what? Sounds like a forest where I'm at here. Fuck. Um, we pushed into previous past points in here into the rejection zone. However, I still assess that this is bullish as well. So let's break down some of this structure in the smaller time frames, start releasing some of those orders. Let's start running it back down. So notice automatically, right? Like what I'm doing within there, I'm giving you complete flexibility and just possibility with regards to how you want to move. It just
Yeah.
comes down to your style and overall approach. Like you could take the sells right now, you could take them before, you could take them once we break down some market structure, you could do a combination of them. And I think
Mhm.
that's really what's ultimately so special and what really makes Excelsius so unparalleled is that you ultimately can just do whatever you want based on what your preferences are. And people a lot of times say, well, how do I know what my preferences are? And I think the biggest thing you want to really ask yourself is what you're comfortable with emotionally and moving
Mhm.
from there. Because ultimately, if the emotions don't settle well with the way that you're moving in the markets, that's ultimately going to become your biggest, issue when being in the markets because you can't clearly analyze nor execute the analysis because the emotions are continuing to get in the way. So if you're someone who doesn't like catching falling knives, then maybe you shouldn't be taking entries right off the rejection zone. If you're someone who really prides on breaking down some points, then you should be waiting for some market structure. If you're someone that likes to, build a position, ultimately, once we start pushing in and then we'll break down some market structure, you're going to do another one. You can do that as well, right? So I think in the end of the day, right, it just comes down to what your preference is and how you're trying to approach it. You might be that person that says, hey, I don't want any of the sells. I want it to push into the rejection zone, and then I want price to pull back into this previous point, and then I'm going to look for entries up, right? You could be someone, that says instead of the rejection zone, hey, when we pull into the previous market structure, if we successfully close below, which we do, I'm going to take an entry and run it. So, I mean, the possibilities are really endless on that side. It
Yeah.
just comes down to the user.
Yeah. Like it's gonna be use case per use case, as they say, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's really how you want to approach it. That's why it was designed in the way that it was in the end of the day, because no one trader is the same. I don't care
Yeah.
in the end of the day if you learn the same approach, if you learn the same strategy, every trader will differ. I promise you that because every trader likes to run their trades differently. Every trader has different goals in mind. Some traders think taking 3 trades a week is okay. Some traders think taking 3 trades a day is okay. Some traders want to take 3 trades an hour. Some people want to be in trades for 45 hours. Some people want to be in trades for 45 minutes. Some traders want to have the ability to do both. Some traders want to have the ability to do it now and then maybe in 6 months from now and not have the ability because they're on vacation. So they need something to ultimately, adjust to that. And I think, like I said, that's really what everyone needs to really look at Excelsius for, much more than just being this, kick-ass trading tool that ultimately gives you all these different possibilities. But it's it's a tool that is meant to really, take your efficiency to a whole nother level in everything that you do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys see me online on Instagram. Like, I am unloading like a turret, and um, doing it at ease without any hesitation, without any thought,
Mm-hmm.
because everything is so in my face, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Right. Well, to continue on that then, so on this case, I checked the 15-minute and it didn't really look that well, for me because it looked very range bound. So I would rather go on the 1 hour. So now let's break down the part that you just mentioned. So here, try to look for key points on the last that last impulse, right? So in this case would be these higher lows here. So sells below these key points and then buys above, right?
I would probably go back to the 4. I'd mark these levels first.
Mm-hmm.
Now I would just extend them out.
All right.
Yeah, like draw 2 levels and just extend them out.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That's right. Okay, there.
1.
Well, okay. Well, with my analysis, that's okay. That's 1, 2.
Yeah, and then go down now to the 2 hour. Did you mark the level? Oh yeah, you did
Oh
with the
yeah, yeah,
dotted
yeah.
lines.
I did with the dotted line as well. Yeah.
Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, there you go. Go down to the 1. Just make sure there's nothing else. So I mean, if you want to try to run it, I would definitely be trying to get above those levels that you have there because those are the higher time frame points in structure,
So from here.
Yeah, and I think that's really the biggest thing in the end of the day. But once again, you want to be, rather snappy on these types of trades because, ultimately you are sitting in the rejection zone. You are at a really sensitive point on the 4 hour, on the daily as well. Rejection zones are identifying that, of course, but yeah, you want to just be mindful when you do ultimately take these plays. But yeah, and then the cells go down to there's no structure on the 4, so go. You can hide your analysis. Go to the 2 or the 1.
So this is the 1. Go back to the 2.
Yeah, so I mean, you only have you have some higher lows there on the 2 that you can start taking some cells off of.
Mm-hmm.
I would wait for the bottom point, wait for the whole thing to crack, and then start running it.
All right. Yeah.
Really get rid of the whole environment.
All right. Well, on the 1 hour, okay, like tell me if you would approve my strategy, right? What I would do, right? Same thing, same concept. So cells below here, break this down, maybe up to here or maybe to that higher high. And if I would try to go with them with some buys, I think it was just above this lower high and this higher high. I would be very short term, right? Because of the rejection zones. No.
Yeah, I mean, if you could take them, and you'll get a push, like
Yeah.
you'll get in like 45K, let's say, whatever, and you'll probably get like a couple $100 push to maybe like $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
But once again, you should not be trying to over expect outside of that rejection zone
Yeah.
because that rejection zone is representing, all of these mass orders, these mass candles in, the higher time frames. So
Yeah.
you could take it. I'm sure though, if you drop to the 15, you might be getting into more of a ranging with the rejection
Yeah.
adapt. You might be able to just take it from one point to the other. Yeah. So I mean, you could ultimately
Maybe
just once
here.
again, there you
Yeah.
go. Try to run them into the 15 smaller time frame rejection zones, which are going to bend back into those points that we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I mean, in the end of the day, that's the biggest thing that we're talking about time and time again, which is like, there's just the amount of applications when it comes down to Celsius is really unparalleled. It genuinely is. And I try to be a model of that for you legends, to showing you guys off of one pair, unloading. I really, like I said, just been focusing on two pairs recently, gold and S&P. So
Yeah.
take a look at gold real quick. Gold is pretty similar to S&P as well. Just things are getting a little bit choppier now. And you got to be mindful of that. You got to be super mindful of what's been going on, and not to really get too caught in everything. You take a look at this, and this has been just a really, really ranging environment now
Mm-hmm.
for a bit of time. And it's creating smaller term ranges inside of, those bigger term ranges as well. And I think nonetheless, Lyra, leave it. I think nonetheless, the biggest thing there is just being mindful. If you do take the trades, be very short term with them. And someone
Yeah.
might say, well, how am I supposed to read that in a really clear standpoint? And Excelsius, once again, will bend to that. Like, go down to a higher time frame, and you'll start to see Excelsius just being in super sensitive regions on the higher time frames, right? Just once again, creating that mindfulness that, hey, you are in these sensitive points. Be careful of it if you do try to go and start competing. So I think this is ultimately the biggest thing in the end of the day. Market environments, and this is just really good for all you legends to see. Market environments ultimately are starting to slow down. And Excelsius is a perfect example of all this, because once again, it's really just saying and making you mindful of what's going on in that bigger picture. So, yeah. But nonetheless, I mean, gold very much is similar on that side in a super range bound type of environment. And yeah, Celsius helps us be mindful of that. But yeah, nothing too crazy on gold right now. I'm in a bit of drawdown right now on S&P. It's no fun, but it's all right. And that's those are those 2 points, though. I mean, like I said, just the amount of plays that it provides you is unparalleled. Like yesterday started so slow too. Like I remember by like 11 or 12, I took one Ethereum play to start the day. And then I didn't get into any other plays until like 11 or 12. And yeah, then I took 5 more trades from
Ooh,
like 12 to 4.
what do you think about this play right now? Silver. Boom, boom. Entries here. Maybe TP here.
No, I would wait for the lowest point to break.
This one?
Yeah, because you got nothing else in your way, and then start running it.
I guess so. That makes sense. So from this point, ooh,
Yeah.
gonna be spicy.
Or of course you could take it from a different time frame and just structure out your position in a different manner. So, you could take it from the hour, you could take it from, if you did break down, now you still didn't break down
Yeah,
now.
still
I
the
think they
same,
match
yeah,
up.
but yeah,
Cool.
pretty nice. Actually, this would be much better too, because here like hit the rejection zone, tossed
Mm-hmm.
it, created that bear flag pattern there, boom, 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 break that and that, bam, bam,
Dashboard's still
bam.
telling you that you're bullish as well.
Yeah, so make it like short term, but yeah, on the oh fuck, yeah, it is pretty bullish. And that's very useful that you mentioned that, because like I would have just thought that I would be looking for sells, but you just said, oh, but Excelsius says it's bullish. So wait, I don't see it bullish. So where do you go? Go to the higher time frames, right? Go and
Or
now
you
I'm
can
on the
always
daily.
just, yeah, and or you can always as well turn on the market structure candles, right?
Oh,
And that turns and transforms the candles into the color of the direction of the market as well on the time frame in which you're working within.
yeah.
So you can also just see that market is bullish. So ultimately, just keeping us mindful once again, if we do want to take sells, yeah, go ahead, take the sells. No one's going to
Mm-hmm.
tell you that you're wrong for taking the sells, but you want to be mindful of what the environment is. That dictates the statistics. I think, what so many traders understand but don't do it well enough is that they understand that this game's a game of probability, it's a game of statistics, it's all these variables. And I full-heartedly believe, being, you know, an educator and you know, helping a lot of legends as well, you know, anybody can learn to trade and anybody can be successful in this. But I think it's just about being mindful of what are those fundamental, consistent variables that really do dictate your level of success in this game. And it's simple things like, hey, you know, if you want to take this type of trade setup, where is the majority of the momentum? And, you know, what is the expectation of this trade? You know, if you know, you take a trade and you don't know where to close or when to adjust your stops or when to protect capital. You know, these are once again just all fundamental questions in the end of the day that we don't do well enough in context to asking yourself or be
Yeah.
aware of. And Excelsius ultimately does that for us, right? Like I said, with each tool line ultimately just really making things so efficient in that manner. Take it from me, someone who's been in the game as long as I've been in, I can't tell you in words just what it does. And once again, like, I even get amazed as well too, like when I'm posting on online and things like that, and just showcasing like how many trades I fired away in a given week, and I'm like, holy shit, like it's a lot, you know. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
even feel it because I'm just trading with such confidence, you know. That's really the biggest thing,
Yeah. Yep.
you know. Like if you're going to take a buy on silver there, I don't necessarily know if you're going to be taking a buy straight away, considering you can see that price now is topping out. We're creating
Yeah.
potential lower high for a lower low. We are in the rejection zone. If anything, you would want to wait for everything to break or starting to look for this to start breaking down and try to start looking for a sell setup, maybe down into these points, and then ultimately try to look for to run that back up. If you drop, you know, when you if that trade does happen, I'm sure the rejection zone will keep you in line, right? And you can move at efficiency on that side. That's really the biggest thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just picking game plans apart and then just letting price make the move and you following accordingly. You know, like I said, like here I am, took S&P buys to start the morning. I'm
Uh-huh.
in like some 15-point drawdown right now, whatever it is, it's fine. You know, in the end of the day, if structure breaks, switches direction. Otherwise, we just continue to remain, and we'll see, you know, if this continues to play out for us. And so I think the biggest thing, once again, is just ultimately being mindful of what it is that you're trying to accomplish and letting Excelsius set the expectations for you. Because us as traders, the human error that comes involved is having this thinking process, and that
Yeah.
thinking is so subjective. It needs to be just it needs to be statistical based on the variables that are in the market. You know, where you are, what's the probability, how many times price attack these regions, these types of questions. Very important.
Yeah. It's like thinking becomes pondering, and then pondering becomes overthinking, and then overthinking becomes anxiety, right?
Exactly. Or
Which
like, you know,
completely destroys the whole process.
yeah, because then you're just trading with emotions. You're not really trading with the analysis, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I think like ultimately this is the fundamental problem in it all, is that too many times traders just ultimately are, you know, putting way too much thought into their trading, and they're not letting the analysis or the just knowledge that they've acquired really do the work for them. I mean, I'm a victim of it. I've been a part of it for, you know, I still get it. You know, it still happens to me, right? You know, and I think that's what traders need to understand, is that the mistakes that you make in year one and the mistakes that you make in like year 9, year 10, they're all the same. It's just the degree of the mistakes you make them at, and the amount of consistent amount of times you make those mistakes. Like, oh shit, you know, I forgot to put a stop loss, or I forgot to set my risk to reward correctly, right? And, you know, you ultimately level up in this game. Sure, because you can, you know, realize patterns better, and you can realize market movements better because you've seen them happen a million times before, so you get the experience. But what really sets a trader apart, and like, you know, when you talk about this, you know, kind of like crypto type of equity curve for a trader, this really just comes down into how quickly a trader can stop those mistakes that they're making consistently, because that really is just what, you know, causes the P&L to constantly do this, you know. So,
Yes. Yeah.
and I
Exactly.
think, like I said, you know, once you realize that you very much can do that at such a quickness, like you know, I didn't really have many consistent mistakes I was making, but even the little ones that I would make every year that would cost, right? Having
Mm-hmm.
Excelsius now, even like, for example, like missing trades, right? Missing trades because I'm just not there, or I can't
Mm-hmm.
find all the trades, or for example, like, you're setting a trade on a lower high to break, and then you know what? Instead of this lower high, it ended up becoming this lower high that broke. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
having a tool like Excelsius that continues to adapt, the points and structure, and then will let me know when that latest point of structure broke. I mean, that's game changing.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like I said, it's doing a lot of the legwork that we as humans cannot do because of the human elements involved. We have lives, we have we have human tendencies such as the ability needing of sleep and
Mm-hmm.
these other elements, and so that affects P&L, of course,
No, for sure,
absolutely.
for sure. Like, and it's good that you mentioned that too, because like back then, what I would do, right? Let's say for this example, I would be looking for buys. Simple, maybe P&L here, right? Then that. Okay. Now, I would try to run it up to here, let's say. Okay. But then throughout that period, right? This is very common when you have a traded, it goes up, goes down. It goes up, it goes down. And then without the rejection zones, you wouldn't really understand why this would be happening, right? You would be like, oh yeah, that's a pretty common occurrence, like, yeah, just wait for it to just push up. And then it just, oh, okay, it goes up eventually. But having these rejection zones now, it's more of being, it's more of a confluence now, but wherein I wouldn't really expect it to go up here, oh, or it still can per se, it still can, but I would be more realistic and have it up to here, and then once it hits that first rejection zone level there, trade already closes. Okay, and I would
Exactly.
understand, like, and then this happens, right, exactly when it hits that, boom, right, and I wouldn't be worried about this anymore. But yeah, because like
Exactly.
of the swing trading back then, it's, although like that's been the best way that the best method that I've learned, of course, from trading. Like just leaving it there, that would be the best way. But now, I wouldn't really need to just leave it there because I have all these tools to tell me, like, okay, you can leave it up to this moment, right? You can expect,
This
up to
and this is
here.
something though that this is something that once again, like, really changes the learning curve. Nick and I, from Nick from BPI, we're talking about this before, which is like, in the past, and for the most part it's still
Mm-hmm.
genuinely true. You can't trade intraday time frames, or you can't trade, in a fast manner without first learning how to swing, because
True.
higher time frames are ultimately what dictates direction, right? So like, you can't expect to be successful in a minute time frame if you're not successful in the hour at least first. And so um, what Excelsius does for the beginners and the blank pages of the world is that if that is something that they ultimately want to embark on, it actually makes that learning process so much easier,
Oh yeah.
because once again, you have these tools like the rejection zone, you have these tools like the market structure settings, the institutional volume profile, dashboard, the signals that are ultimately just all telling you, though, in the end of the day, like, if you take this trade, just be mindful. Don't overshoot. Don't over
Mm-hmm.
expect. And I know I say that a lot, but it really is the fundamental ingredient to everything, because in the end of the day, how many times do traders take a trade, and are they in the blue more times than not, but they don't
Yeah.
end up closing in the blue. They don't end up taking profit in that manner. And I think so, nonetheless, going back to your point, right? Like, having these rejection zones, knowing ultimately when you can expect price to bounce or decelerate or exhaust, what it does
Mm-hmm.
for an emotional status is it keeps you calm, because
Yeah.
us as humans, we get very emotional when we don't know, or we don't, or something happens all of a sudden. We get very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And being emotional is not a good thing, because you're not I'm not gonna say that you're not gonna make the best decisions because sometimes, emotions do drive the best decisions, but more times than not, it does cause for turbulence in your trading, So being able to have this level of comfort of like, hey, I know that I'm gonna take a trade, once we break off of here, let's say, or you took one position here, we create a double bottom, we pulled off the rejection zone, you add another one here, and your target is somewhere within here, maybe a little higher. And you're saying to yourself, like, I know that when we near this low, when we near this point, when we near this rejection zone, I know price is going to slow down. Doesn't mean it's going to switch direction, but price is going to slow down. Lyra, so ultimately, in the end of the day, having that level of assurity, that comfort, it makes trading, like I said, much, much different. It makes things a lot more effortless.
Definitely. Well, to our viewers right now, the people who are watching the live stream, if you have any questions at all, send away. Anything you'd like to learn about Excelsius as well, go ahead.
Dog, this fucking S&P play is so annoying. It's just been 2 straight bearish candles for the last 2 hours. I mean, I know why, but it's just annoying. Go to the 15. I mean, it's very simple. Either we're going to break that base and I'm going to sell the fuck out of it, or we're going to pull off the whole thing and we're going to rally. So all that could happen.
Yeah.
We're going to break this base. I'm going to sell it. We're going to pull off of this. And we're going to rally. Right now, it looks like it's going to shit straight through. I hate starting. If I have to start the day on the red, that's so annoying. Then I got to work hard to get it back. And that's even more annoying. Whatever. I haven't had a day like this week yet. And I think what's more annoying than anything else is, like, I don't have faith that we're going to have enough volatility in these next five hours to get the job done. So to all my traders out there, in days like these, I don't even know. I mean, we'll see. But I have to start the day on an L. I don't really look at like trying to make the money back.
Yeah.
I try to just control the damage at that point. So I say to myself, like, hey, if I can get in like 1 or 2, quick, just relatively probable plays, I'll tighten things up. And let's say out of the 100% of the loss, if I can take, 25 to 50% of it away, that's great, because then if I can dial it in for the next day, get 1 or 2 good plays, we recover it all. And then we can focus on profitability once again.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean, this loss here is just me jumping the gun a little bit and trying to be a little too aggressive with it into the pre-equity market. But that's okay. I mean, if I do take this loss is only going to eat away at some of yesterday's gains, but still protects the gains for the week. So like day 1, day 2 are fine. It's just going to eat into yesterday's gains. So kind of annoying, but
come on, the champion needs to stay grounded.
It's fucking annoying, bro. And
No.
it's crazy. Like,
Mhm.
it was bad, bro. You know, I even finished the day. I didn't even remember. I should have reminded myself that. I didn't think of that. I finished the day off yesterday on an L2 because I tried taking a stupid play. The play went through, but it was stupid. I should have reminded myself this morning to start things a little bit tighter, but whatever. I mean, I could still be right. I don't fucking know. We'll see. I could still be right. This could still very much leg out. But if
Yeah.
this breaks, it breaks. And I'll sell it.
That's a pretty big bearish candle as well, though.
We shall see. Yes, I know. Looks like it's about to fucking engulf the whole thing. It's just eating it.
And then you'll see this wick out by the end. That would be like the most annoying thing. Like, but
Yeah. Right.
that does happen. That does happen. I'm curious. I was about to
Yeah.
say, like, I'm curious to see is how Excelsius would work on like stocks. So let's see. AMD.
I wouldn't do AMD USD, just do AMD.
Just AMD, okay. Nasdaq. Ooh. Wow. Oh, this could have been really good entries here. Oh man. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that would have been straight money, bro.
Boom, boom.
This one right here.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's money.
Apple. Check Apple. Apple does tend to have a lot of gaps, but not a problem at all.
I swear to God, if S&P pulls off and goes through, I'll lose my shit. But it's not going to, I don't think.
And to add to what you just said earlier as well, like having Excelsius as a good tool for beginners. Well, then what are like the most common beginner tools, right? That would be, well, for me and for like very recently, I've been seeing a lot of people use this, like really beginners. They use the RSI, right? And why would the RSI be, not recommended as compared to, Excelsius? Well, RSI back then is really it's really shitty because like there was this, there was this rule that if it goes above 70, no, you're gonna see a sell. If it goes above below 30, you're gonna see, a reversal of a buy. And I think like it really boils down to um the proper keywords. It's not really like a switch in direction already, you know. And although yeah, like RSI is good, but it's not always accurate. It's actually, you know what? That's not true. It's not. It's not very accurate at all. And if I were to have this back then instead, this would be a much more easier approach into looking for not switches in direction, right? But some slowdowns, as you just said. Slowdowns is the keyword.
They're just, all those indicators are dog shit indicators. They're just
RSI.
really bad.
Like
Fucking terrible.
I saw this one guy on Instagram. It's like, as you can see, it just went above the RSI 70 line. So we're gonna see, it's now
I don't
gonna
know,
go.
bro. I mean,
But
I might just be an asshole, but I mean, I just, if you don't trade with market structure, I'm not saying market structure doesn't have to be your main thing, even though it should.
yeah.
But if you don't trade with any type of market structure involved, like, don't even talk to me. I just have no time for it. I don't care if you kick my ass in trading. I don't care. I don't care if you're better than me, if you make more money than me. I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear it. Because you know why? It's so subjective.
Yeah.
But you know what? Who am I to talk shit? Because when it comes down to popularity, when it comes to tool versus tool, whoever developed the RSI is kicking our ass right now. Because obviously, way more people know about the RSI than Excelsius. So, I mean, you know, in that thinking, they're really the big dogs in the game right now. So therefore, me talking shit about them in theory is just hating on their success. But yeah, I still don't like the tool. I think it's bad.
All right. Yeah.
All right, one successful rejection off of S&P on the 30.
Let's go.
I mean, listen, I've seen many instances like this where the next 4 candles are going to be bullish, but I don't know. I'm prepared for either way. I'm prepared to sell the fuck out of it as well. I'm prepared to compete either way at this point. But
Well, at a
still going to be
scalping,
tentative.
right? At a
I'm
scalping
going to get some.
standpoint, right here,
Going to get some
we
water real quick,
are.
Jason.
Go ahead. Yeah, I
Say
was
hi.
saying while we're waiting for Tomas to come back. Yeah. If you can see here on the 1 minute, if you are a scalper, and for all the scalpers out there, this is also a good tool. We do have one client of ours who is a scalper, and he uses it more on the rejection zones, getting quick plays, entries. So on the 15 minute, if we go here, looking here, right, we just hit that rejection zone. So at the play that Tomas was talking about was he was looking for, pushes up, but now, just leg down. So what we could do is we can go on the 1 minute. That's the 1 month, sorry. On the 1 minute, and you could see here, rejection zone there, rejection zone here. Boom. If you're looking for buys, maybe re-entries above this or this level. This is very close to that rejection zone, right? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. 5 minute is not looking so hot as well, I think. Yeah, so I guess that could have been like the main indication. So if we were mindful of that, we could have expected that push down, right? Out of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 handles. I would look for, I know this is pretty tough because we're still bullish. We are still bullish. And on the higher time frames, still looks good. So I would be turning on my market structure candles from here. Yeah, yeah, you know what? There's still some hope. There is still some hope. For anyone watching, if you have any questions at all about Excelsius, go ahead, write it on the chat on YouTube. We can see we can see all the chat here, and we'll give you a rundown on anything you'd like to know. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. So if you can see here, the blue represents bullish candles, pink represents bearish candles, and again, blue. So, okay, Tomas would be able to explain this much, much better, right? So, why is it, right? Why is it bullish? Why is it bullish now, even if it's already reached that bearish market range? Right? So, I'll wait for Tomas. Let's wait for Tomas to come back to explain that. Before that, though, I want to go back to that Bitcoin play. Yeah, it looks like now. What the fuck? So bullish on the 4 hours. Okay. Still holding. Still holding, but we've already switched bearish candles, so but no, we could see some entries from here. Bishop round up to that last point or this rejection zone right here. Let's see. Let's see. Ethereum. Ooh. Get the projection zone on Ethereum. Hey. No, quite risky, but that looks like a pretty good entry. We are still bullish on market structure on the 4-hour. So I'm gonna turn this off now. And let's go ahead and check 1 hour. Let's, just wait for this to load.
I'm back.
So, okay, I think we're good so far. Time we're ending this live stream.
You're ending it?
No, what time are we ending it?
Like 15 minutes.
Got it.
Lara, please.
Who's she fighting now?
Dante.
Dante must be the most chill dog right there. It's like, play with me. Play with
Just
me.
takes it. He just takes it.
Dogs.
Like, you gotta relax. And then when I say that to her, she looks at me with such attitude.
Excuse me.
Literally. Well, these S&P buys are just absolute fucking terror and all. So, looks like I will be selling today.
Well, let's see. You know, there's still some hope. Still says it's
Nah, bro.
bullish. Celsius still says
You
it's bullish.
know what's more annoying than anything else?
Mm-hmm.
It's getting caught. And that's what happened today. I got fucking caught. Fuck. I mean, look, in the end of the day, like I said, you know, I should not be upset because, you know, from a risk standpoint, it's literally eating up into just some of the gains of yesterday. But I hate fucking losing. I hate losing. And especially like this. That's a straight fuck you to the face. Yes, yes, yes. I love to lose. Fucking annoying. But we are in support central right now. And hopefully, bro, I got fucking caught. So annoying. Maybe I was late to the I'm not gonna shame myself for this. I mean, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed.
You get
I'm not
scammed.
gonna be my. Yeah, bro, it is a fucking scam. There's a fucking scam.
It happens. It happens.
I mean, the problem, bro, was that, and I'll say this on the stream, like I don't really give a fuck. I didn't act too quickly on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go to the 4-hour real quick,
Now switched.
yeah, soon I'm gonna fucking close this shit. Go to the 4-hour. See, my problem was that bring it down. Okay. Turn off the market structure settings. Go to the 2-hour actually.
Hey, we have Saf here on the chat. Welcome, welcome, Saf.
What's going on, King? Do you have the market structure settings?
Oh, I turned off market structure, not the candle store.
What's going on, Saf? The legend himself. So yeah, take a look at this. I got fucking caught, bro, because right here, where's my annotation? Why can't I annotate now?
I have no idea. Like,
oh my goodness, everything is just fucking up.
well, my annotation's still good. I don't know on your end.
Well, aren't you lucky, mister? Hold on. Oh, there it is. All right. So if you take a look at this region on the 4, right? I mean, on the 2, I just wanted to pull a level there. But you see on the 2 and on the 4, this is where I got caught. All right. You can see basically we're sitting in here. We're sitting in here. And so
I see.
my dumbass, yeah, now you see it, right? My dumbass, bro. My dumbass over here was like, yup. This is what's going through my head, right? It's like, Saf, I just saw the comments now. Saf, baby, what's going on, King? So, my dumbass in the end of the day is like, we're breaking through, and getting a nice early open equity push. Let's see what happens here. So I mean, I'll be honest, I entered off the 5. I was super aggressive with it. Yeah, I got caught. And now I'm fucking eating it.
Well, you didn't listen to Excelsius. Well,
fuck you, bro.
It happens.
I did, but I didn't, because I entered off the market structure breaks, but I really thought that I could, kind of push past the rejection zone. But I guess not.
Guess not, yeah.
I guess not.
Not today. Not today.
Not today, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie. There's been a couple trades this week where we'd break higher highs and we'd push into like the second or third rejection zone and then pull off. But obviously not today. Fuck, I'm gonna have to close this position. And do we break? No,
this is all just think of it as all trading karma. You've got a lot of wins for the past 2 weeks, and you're supposed to take some else, okay? To come back. All
right, well, let's see. In 7 seconds, if this closes below, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I closed, and then now I'm taking the sells. Appreciate the dynamicness, people. Appreciate the dynamicness. I just took the sells after getting eaten off on the buys. I'm fucking pissed though. Damn it, Jason.
The sells from
all right,
here.
Guys.
Boom, 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 boom.
We're keeping the session going now, because now I'm in the sells and I'm running from, where do you think I'm running it to?
I don't know, like rejection zones here or to the second one at least.
I mean, so let's talk about the game plan right now. Here I am. Just took an L to start the day sucks. I'm not thinking long term right now. I'm thinking, 10 points at a time, baby. Let's go. Let's start. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down right now. How many points did I lose on that? I lost. Hold on. Fuck, I got fucking eaten. 15, 25, and 37. No. Fuck, Jason. 38.25 and 15.25 is like. What the fuck is the math? 53, 54 points? Something like that? Right?
Something like that, yeah.
So now, my man, your boy's going for 5 to 10 points at a time because this is like I said, this is my mentality. Like, if I can now just control the damage a little bit here, like I can get this quick push, 5, 10 points. Take another 5, 10 points if we break below another structure and kind of just move like that. Then that's exactly what we're gonna do because
damage control.
I am not gonna be shooting for the moon right now. Your boy just got slapped in the face with the buys, so we're gonna take the sells now. It's a great sell setup though, guys. This is a phenomenal sell setup though. Off the rejection zone, falsely breaking the highs, breaking through some past market structure, switching the momentum. Very, very smooth play here. We have complete transparency on this live stream. Your boy over here tried going against Excelsius. This is why you don't go against Excelsius. Make sure you guys get Excelsius so you don't be like me.
And that's a very good way of doing damage control, right? Guys, as compared to, let's say, a very, very, newbie trader, and starting trader, what one would usually do is okay, wait. I think my internet connection is still unstable. Zoom just sent me. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Say it again, Jason.
Yeah.
You came in like a robot.
Yeah. I know. Is it all right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying, like what a newbie trader would do is they would go in and they take this loss, right? And their way of doing damage control would be not like the way you're doing it, which is like by 5 points, 10 points, very like incremental to say. But they would do it with their loss, right? Their loss, they would do the next trade and try to reach that amount of pips, the same amount of pips, or the same amount of profit
I
that
think
they lost, right?
Yeah, I think ultimately a lot of people like to try to make the money back as quickly as they can, or they ultimately want to make back and some, or some shit like that. Like, what I'm more upset about is not even the loss. Like, I don't care about the loss because once again, like, okay, so what? This loss that I just took ate a little bit into yesterday's profits. Like, we're still up for the week. I don't really give a shit. I'm more annoyed about getting caught. That's what I'm more pissed off about. Now, once again, you got Lyra, Dante. Fuck. My God. Stop it. No. Guys, Dante, leave it. Lyra, get Dante. This shit's ridiculous. I can't. Dante, obviously you can't go inside. Oh my goodness, relax. So anyways, if I do lose this trade as well, I'll be really fucking pissed, but I don't think I will. So I was thinking about the 30-minute, bro, looks fire. 30-minute looks so good. We just need to keep holding the pressure. Guys, please. Please, please, please. Dante. Let it be. Dante. Yeah, 30 minutes really good if we can get through because we have no traffic, but we need that close in 8 minutes.
Let's do it. Let's
No.
do it. Let's push, push, push.
No.
Yeah, Saf. So like, we have Tomas here, you know, taking care, babysitting some dogs.
I'm fucking believable.
It's a daily thing, guys. So starting next week, you know, we're gonna try
And
as
there
much
the
as possible
S&P
to like Monday to
goes. Here we
Friday.
go. Come on.
Mondays to
Come
Fridays,
on.
and you're gonna hear the dogs a lot, guys.
I just want like a clean 10 points. Like quick 10 points. Your boy will be out. You know, little business. But no. Still gotta wait. But if we get a nice 30-minute close, I will be very content. Very, very content. But we shall see.
We shall see.
Watch this thing just completely reverse and make me lose the same amount of loss that I just lost. And it was
And
a
I'm like,
false move again.
all
I
right.
just throw my
It's like,
I
all right,
I
no
would
trading
just
today.
yeah, I just shut it down and be like, fuck off. I'm done. But I mean it's a lot of momentum. I mean it's a lot of bearish momentum. Just pushing straight through like that. Like I said, right now the only counter that's coming into my head is like someone's got to liquidate. But I mean that pressure is really strong right now. So we'll see. Obviously stops are above the high. We're not targeting just the rejection zone. I'm going to target just 10, 15 points and then look for a new entry, 10, 15 points, new entry into the rejection zone and move like that.
Ooh,
So S&P might give us a nice push.
come on, S&P. Let's do this.
Yeah, bro, we're just all watching this at this point, just like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen? Is he gonna get beat up or is it gonna go through again? Let's see. But for real, how's gold looking?
Alright, let's.
Gold has to be rising. No, it's not.
Nah, still looks like shit.
Dante, stop it. Damn, bro. I mean, if we really get this close in
Ooh,
5 minutes, look at the 2 hour on
silver.
S&P,
Nice.
bro.
Silver's nice. Silver went
Look at
through.
the 2 hour on S&P, bro.
XPT got noise. Let's see, S&P.
That thing's eating the whole thing. Yes. Push. Yes. We're getting the push. Appreciate the dynamicness.
All right, let's go. All right. How many points are you in now?
I got it at 63. So
You're
like
like 5
three,
points.
like 5, 6. Yeah, another little drop, and that's it. I'm done. We'll start controlling the damage. Mm, 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 mm. Here we go. Go to the
Yeah,
1 minute real
some
quick.
more. Let's go.
Things gonna start fucking wicking. Right into, yeah, but we're pushing into the rejection on the 1. Go to the 5.
Thank you for the support, Saf. Yeah, we got this. Oh shit, that's 5. Relax, stadium view. I know I don't have premium. Okay. Oh, we're into those rejection zones. A bit
Yeah, bro, it's
dicey.
a pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. But I'm happy we're getting this push right now.
Got this.
It's a
We got
very good
this.
push.
We're still in 5 points, guys. 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes.
Zoom out a little bit. The only thing I don't like right now. Lyra, stay. Lyra, come. I mean, I know we're gonna push. I don't like pushing into here. Fuck. And we're gonna start wicking the moment we start coming in. So. I'm fucking out. Fuck it. Let's just start taking some out piece by piece. All right, whatever.
You closed?
That was like, yeah,
Let's
was
go.
like, yeah, but I'm gonna start controlling that a little bit. It was like 7 points. It's like 7. I'm still looking for another entry. That was like 7 points.
7 points.
Damage control, guys. Damage control. But yeah, I am gonna look for another entry because we got another about. Mm. 16 points left. I would like to see this wick back a little bit.
Ooh.
But yeah. We'll end the stream on that note. A little bit of a W there. Not bad.
Let's go.
But yeah, legends. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Another incredible live stream. If you are not a part of Excelsius already, go and get plugged in. You are missing out. No question about that. Go experience the advantage. Go and compete like we are. And go and continue to take things to a whole new level. Legends, we are doing these live streams every single day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in. And with that, enjoy the remainder of your week, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We'll speak to you.